JT and Phillip break it down from kickoff to the final slide. Every snap, every route, every block from the black and gold pride. Who rose up in the trenches? Who vanished when it counted most? They call out the heroes and the gaps, set the record, raise a toast. They map Sundays, filmed in next week's foe. Matchups, schematic stride. Which players inspired hope? Which ones need work to turn the tide? What the team needs, sharper hands, cleaner pass, protection, grit. What the team lacks, depth on key downs, time and lost where yards were split. Coaching choices under the microscope, personnel plans apply. JT and Phillip give the homework, Italians is how we'll ride. Get out your terrible towel and wave it with pride on game day wide. Listen to Steelers Rewind, Sunday prep for the faithful by your side. Yinzer's tomb, towels held high. JT and Phillip lead the guide. Sports 5-0, Steelers Rewind. Study the tape, then ride. JT and Phillip break it down from kickoff to the final slide. Every snap.
All right, welcome to Steelers Rewind special episode tonight as the Pittsburgh Steelers did their usual thing and kept us our heads scratching by doing something not too many people expected them to do. Today's show is brought to you by Clark Travel, and we got the guy, my co-host, who's the man behind Clark Travel, coming on to talk about it. So let's bring him on right now. Phillip, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, John. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good. Clark Travel, eh? Yeah, I started this business back in April, and I've done a good share of bookings for friends, good friends, other clients. We're talking about everything from the Steelers game in Dublin from late September, and these clients traveling all over Ireland, actually, which I booked all their hotels for them when they were over there. I have a family I know very well who just embarked this afternoon on a Disney cruise. I have another good friend, his brother and his sister-in-law. I have them booked to do a Virgin Voyages cruise at the end of this month in the Eastern Caribbean. I'm working with good friends from high school. They're contemplating going on a Viking river cruise, the Christmas cruises they do in Europe. This one would be on the Danube, and they're going to go on all their ports of call. They're going to go to all the Christmas markets, Budapest, Vienna, other smaller cities, in the Austria, Germany area. And I have another family who I booked a Viking ocean cruise. They're going to do an Alaskan cruise in August of 2026. And I have another good friend who wants me to do his golf trip in South Carolina. And I think in March. So that's going to be 12 to 16 guys I'll be booking so they can enjoy their time golfing down in South Carolina. And some others, I'm talking to some people about getting them, on various trips that they're interested in. So
that sounds great, man. What's the best way people can get a hold of you?
My 2 Facebook accounts. You can come to my account, Phillip Clark, on Facebook. Then also, I have a Clark Travel Facebook account, and all of my contact information is, found on those 2 pages. So basically, my email address is Philip, that's 1 L in Philip, at clarktravel.org. CLARKE travel.org.
Yeah, Clark's got an E in it, so don't.
Yes.
It ain't like Will Clark. It's
You know where that comes from? My grandfather on my dad's side, his family came from County Cork to Pennsylvania back in the 1800s, late 1800s. You'll see a lot of Clark with an E in County Cork all throughout different places.
I get you, man. Like I got Toth, which people say Toth, people say Toth. Let's get into the big game of the weekend, man. It was a game where most people on paper thought the Colts were going to win this, but a lot of Steeler fans I've seen writers, myself included, who told people like this is the kind of game the Steelers win. I mean, I think we said that even during the podcast.
We did last week.
Just that kind of game, and how you that feel about it. But the Penguins just make it 1-0. But
nice.
It had that. The Colts had 6 turnovers, man. First time since 2007 they've done that. And it started with the punt hitting Downs. That was a huge turning point. But what caught your eye in that game? I think me and you were texting during the game. Me and you both been talking about Peyton Wilson this year. Like he might go a game or 2 without really doing anything, but man, he does something. It's huge. He's gonna be one of them big play guys, man.
First and foremost, he had 14 tackles in this game. That's a lot for a linebacker, if you ask me. Okay. Secondly, he had an interception. Third, he tipped that pass, perfect timing, that landed in Jack Sawyer's hands for an interception. And every time we talk about Jack Sawyer, I always say Tom Sawyer because it's that song by Rush. You just want to start playing that song when he makes a big play.
Yeah, he's a big guy, man.
One of the best rock songs of all time, by the way. My opinion. And then I have to reiterate what Tomlin said about Jack Sawyer. I wrote this down because I caught it yesterday in his press conference. In referring to Jack Sawyer, he said, "The sun is always shining on Jack Sawyer. He's a 5-star."
It's true, man. He in the championship game, his last year at Ohio State, he scooped up a fumble.
Yeah,
returned it for a touchdown. He just seems like the kind of guy that shines when the bright light is on him. And I think, honestly, I think Peyton Wilson has the future to be a just one of them guys that people love in this town. He's gonna be he's gonna be an amazing like you said, he tackles well. His biggest issue coming out of college, I did a lot of recruiting on him, a lot of writing on him, is he got hurt a lot. I mean, he's not a big guy. He gets he's playing at NC State where he he's going to get some bigger offensive linemen at times, but I mean, he's proven that he can play in this league.
Isn't he missing a ligament in one of his knees?
Yeah, he had some. I think he's had like I want to say 3 torn ACLs. Like,
yeah,
I think his one knee has a couple. I mean, he's been hurt really bad in his whole college career. That was one of the knocks on him coming out. But Steelers don't seem afraid to take a linebacker. That's for sure.
No, that's where they normally draft very well, is the linebacker position.
But going into this game, the Steelers actually, once again, and this is a weird thing, they got outgained again pretty good. But like the Steelers offense, really, if you look at the stats, were very, very pedestrian. Jalen Warren, 16 carries, 31 yards.
Yeah.
He had the two touchdowns, which was nice. And I wrote in the article today, what was good about the Steelers offense was they found a way to score on a short field, which that was something in the past where they weren't just kicking field goals. They were actually putting the ball in the end zone. So you had to give them credit. And they didn't have the ball as much as the Colts because they had short fields. They were scoring when they had to. Rodgers, 203 yards on 25 completions, which is nothing. That's a poor number, but like I said, they did what they had to do.
Yes, this was a game where both units complemented each other. Okay, all those turnovers well, one on special teams, and then the other 5. And the Steelers scored 3 touchdowns, 21 points from turnovers. Okay. So they definitely complemented each other in that factor. And that was strong. That was huge. You know, it would have been nice to see them get one more touchdown from those turnovers, but we can't complain because the Steelers defense really shut down Jonathan, the heck's his last name? Jonathan Taylor. They really shut him down. They did a great job shutting him down.
Oh yeah, he's the best running back in football right now.
Yeah, I mean, and the Colts were 7-1 coming into this game, and then they read off a crazy stat, and I went ahead and wrote these numbers down. In their last 4 games, before coming into Pittsburgh, they scored 40 points, 31 points, 38 points, and 38 points in those 4 games. And then before they lost to the Rams, they started off 3-0. They scored 33, 29, and 41. That's a lot of points. I don't care who they're playing in the NFL. That's a lot of points to score. And they held them to 20 points. And, everyone, and I would say overall, everybody played pretty well in defense. Not everybody played great. I'm still kind of like wondering when Patrick Queen's going to come back to where he was when the season started. But moving Jalen Ramsey to safety, free safety, getting Thornhill out of there made a difference. Bringing in Kyle Duggar, who got the game ball.
Yeah, Duggar. He had a great. He played almost every snap in that game. He
played everyone, but except one snap.
Yeah,
he was in the 70s. Those the number of plays they had.
Yeah, just coming over by, late, like he did a couple practices. That was he built the Steelers out. I'm still gonna call JPJ a bum. I don't care if you give him an interception at the end of the game. The guy still can't keep his hands to himself. He's gonna cost the team in a big situation. There's no doubt in my mind that
2 PIs, 2 pass interferences. He has to quit tugging and pulling. He just needs to cover.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to do it. Kevin Baverso.
Yep, our boy Kevin.
Wilson and Herbig are splash players. Durability is always concerned. Levon Kirkland may or not, but it's all about speed. You're right, man. Peyton Wilson is a guy who is going to remember he had the big interception last year against Baltimore, which sort of put him on the map here in Pittsburgh. He's a guy that's just going to be a fan favorite because he's going to do this all the time. He's gonna be how Minka was his first year here, second year when he's getting interceptions, returning touchdowns. He's gonna be that guy that's always in the midst. And like you said, he had a big part in that second interception with Jack Sawyer. And the Steelers were doing that was first and foremost the beginning of that game between him. Cam Hayward must have blocked 3 or 4 passes. The Steelers defensive line was just
they were on
really
fire.
Good. They were.
Benton so well. Benton had his best game of the season. Hayward has been playing well the last couple games without question. Even in that terrible loss to Green Bay, Hayward still had 7 tackles that game. So he's playing great. He really is. But the turning point of that game for me was TJ Watt's strip sack, fumble recovery. When that play happened, I said to myself, I think this is going to go the Steelers' way.
Yeah, I wish his town would just ease up on TJ Watt a little bit, man. If you look at the games that he hasn't gotten a sack, look at how many times he's forced a quarterback up in the pocket or done something. The guy's getting
being held all the time.
Yeah, the guy's getting just double, triple teamed.
Yep.
The guy's still a stud. If you don't think he's a stud, then you don't know anything about football because
I agree.
TJ Watt is just a beast off that line. I do agree with Stu the Buffs. Darnell Washington is a beast, man. The more and more they keep using him, it's actually starting to get a little exciting. He's getting a lot more playing time. I think a lot of it has to do with the blocking, but they're still using him a lot in that offense, a lot more than what they did last couple of years. So I like that.
I was disappointed in that drop. Could have been a touchdown, but he still had a good game. He's playing his role as a tight end. He's blocking. He's coming off the block to run his routes. And what he had 4 catches, I think, right?
Yeah, 4 catches. Not a lot of yards. Nobody had a huge game receiving. Calvin Austin led the team in reception. Which, by the way, Austin's catch was a great catch. The catch that he fingertipped it. I don't know how he held on to it, but he didn't get the first down on it, but they reviewed it or whatever. But I thought that
Yeah,
he played a very good game. Um,
absolutely.
Roman Wilson, I like how he's getting part of the offense. Dude, don't jump. These guys that jump, man. You see what happens when you jump. When you're running the football, do not try to leap over people unless you're Saquon Barkley, because you're going to fumble the football a lot of times. And I think he's learned that. I hope that they don't frown upon him now, because I still think that Roman Wilson could be a big part of this offense to keep him in the game. I liked him at Michigan. I still think he's got some talent. Um, the part that I don't like about the offense, though, man, is it's almost like they know they can't block. They can't hold teams up. It just seems like the pass plays are so quick and such screens, and they're not really throwing the ball down the field, man. I mean, they're not really setting up plays on the field. Even the Metcalf passes were all real quick little slants, quick passes. Um, it's almost like they're conceding the fact that if a team has a good defensive edge rusher, that we're not gonna like basically throw routes, because I mean Leatu's a great edge rusher. He's gonna be one of the top in the league going forward.
Yep.
I watched him in college, and the kid's a beast. And he was getting to us early, and it just seems like they give up on the downward pass. I mean, there wasn't really any long passes by Rodgers in that game.
No,
So
no. But again, they did what they needed to do to get the points on the board. The defense was the show without question. Oh, and by the way, John, I don't know if you caught this, but Troy Faltanu, is that how you say his last name? I always screw it up.
Foatanu.
Faltanu. Did you see that massive block he threw? It was not just a pancake; it was a flattening. Obviously,
Yeah.
I could watch that all day. He just crushed the guy. I mean, he was kind of like Wile E. Coyote falling off a cliff. Squat.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Great. It was great.
They do that. But Broderick Jones once again, man, just looks like there's some downs where he looks like a turnstile, man. Like he just. I was early in the game when Leatu beat him around the edge, and I remember him just turning around looking at Rodgers. I mean, and Stu's right, man. There's way too much pressure still on Rodgers. Like I said, they're not really setting up plays. I mean, just quick screens to get them going. I'm actually shocked that Warren didn't have more yards. I give the Colts defense a lot of credit, because the Colts defense did well not to just get abused by the Steelers, because they had a short field the whole game. But I thought they did they did a good job of holding our run game down. I thought Gainwell played good. I think Gainwell's sort of like he's like a hidden gem right now for us. He's making a lot of the catches out of the backfield, making some plays when we need it.
Yeah,
so
for sure. He's a great contributor.
It's weird. We got like a bunch of so-called so guys that are just coming together and making plays. I mean, we don't really have a star on offense, so to speak. I mean, I'd say really don't have a go-to guy if you think about it, not even Metcalf. So I'm hoping that
2 catches yesterday.
I'm hoping the trade comes down. I mean, they're talking now. I read today that this is the week now. This is the trade deadline.
Tomorrow's the deadline.
I'm reading that the Steelers and the Patriots are basically both in heavy on AJ Brown. That's the rumor I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how true that is. There's a lot of other receivers. I have an insider guy that deals with the Steelers that told me he would put money on Jalen Waddle becoming a Steeler. He thought he thinks the Dolphins are just they moved Jalen Phillips today. They've made like 3 trades now. They're moving guys left and right. So
they're loading up on draft picks. I didn't see any of that today. But they must be loading up on draft picks.
So Jalen Waddle's a guy, hey, you have him in your second, but then again, we got to run routes. These guys aren't running routes right now.
No.
How to improve the offense? Honestly, you got to give Aaron Rodgers some more time, man. You got to give him some more time if you want to open the offense up, so to speak. You're not gonna beat teams, the good teams, on just quick screens all day long.
They need a WR2 as well.
They do. They need somebody to block. They need the tackles to step up, and they need the tackles to step up. And like you said, they need a legit number 2. If Austin's your 3, I have no problem with that. if Austin's your 2 and Wilson's your 3, I have some issues with that because you're not gonna do much more than you're doing now. But that's what I would say. I would say if you can get it, I don't know what you do. You got these young tackles. You really can't go out and get a veteran for a couple of games because that's just gonna it ain't gonna be good for them. Yeah, I would say that's true, Stu. I would give
Between him
Rogers
and
the
Jalen
MVP.
Warren, even though Jalen Warren, his numbers weren't great yesterday, but he still played a good football game. He's been
Warren's so
consistent
solid.
all season.
He's so solid, man. Like honestly, even the touchdown. I mean, think about it. The Steelers were never good in the last couple of years on just scoring short running touchdowns. Now they're doing it, and that's Warren. Um, Waddle or Myers, I'd have no problem with either of them. Jacoby Myers would probably be a cheaper bring in. I think the Raiders are just trying to get anything right now for that, but I think Waddle will cost us a little bit of that might be one of them second. We might be like a second with Waddle and a third. The NFL loves them trades right now. You trade a guy in a 6th round pick, or you trade a guy in a 7th round pick, and all you get back is a 6th round pick. These teams,
Right.
that's like the weird trades are doing now, where you're basically just moving up one round and you're still giving up another pick anyway. So, but I would take either of them. We need a number 2. We got
Yeah,
tight end.
they
There's no short.
desperately needed a wide receiver too. The line just has to play a little bit better on all the pass plays. That's just the bottom line right there.
I mean, there's times that I know Rogers ain't nimble like he used to be, but some of these plays, man, these guys are in there instantly, man. They're in there instantly. Like there's not even a chance. Like Leatu went past Broderick Jones, and I was just like, oh my gosh, man, you got to move the guy to the outside, do something. I give the only thing I give Jones credit for is he's not just pulling these guys down to the ground like guys do with Watt. He just lets them go, which. All right, we're not taking the
Did
penalties.
you see Rogers took a big hit whenever he was going for the touchdown, and he was stopped at about the 1 or 2, but he got leveled, got back up, no problem. Took it great at the age of 41.
Stu, I agree. Waddle's probably worth a first, but the way the trades are going right now, man, you got to look at the market. I don't know if Miami gets a number 1. I do agree he is a 1, but the way it is right now, I wouldn't be shocked if it's a 2 with the Steelers maybe giving up something next year as well, a couple, maybe a couple of draft picks like a 2 and a 5 or
Is
something. But
is Alex Highsmith still tradable in your opinion?
I think there's 2 guys that are tradable. I think it's Highsmith, and I think that I had this in my head the other day. I was just saying this. It's Highsmith and oh, who's like I can't. It's going to drive me nuts now. I was thinking like a Freiermuth or a tight end, but I would say honestly it's Highsmith. There was somebody else I had in mind. And I can't think of it right now. Oh man, but Highsmith I think is definitely. I think last game might help his stock, seeing that he actually put up some numbers for first time in a long time. Um,
I
uh,
love Gene's photo, by the way, of Clint Eastwood. That must be from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, maybe
that's Gene.
one of the spaghetti westerns.
That's funny. That is Gene. Gene is a guy. He's been on our thing before. I didn't realize that was Gene because like he said, it's a different name than what he has.
Yeah,
He's on our
YouTube is still
Facebook.
weird on the names. Yep.
But I would say definitely that. Oh, I'm sorry. The other guy that I would say is tradable is Mason Rudolph. That's the 2. Rudolph and Highsmith are my 2 guys that if somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, we need a quarterback," you deal Rudolph right now. Why you can get a draft pick for him. You deal Highsmith, and it's even better if you can get Highsmith. Um, if you can get Highsmith, and part of a deal with a receiver where you maybe have to go up a draft pick. You're not going to get him for Waddle. But you maybe get him for like a Myers or a team that just wants. I mean, the Raiders need to build that team from basically from the floor up, except for like Brock Bowers. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't mind seeing Highsmith get dealt, but knowing the Steelers, man, they're not going to trade any players. They're going to try to bring in some people, which they've been doing a good job of it. Got to give them credit as an organization. They didn't waste no time on bringing in Duger And Duger's a guy, second round draft pick. Actually, was a 31st pick of the overall for the draft, or whatever. He
Yeah.
you know,
Question for you, and you're making me kind of smile when I ask this question. So if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt after a hypothetical of Mason Rudolph being traded, is Will Howard ready to come in?
probably not. Probably not. No, you're right about that. I mean, I don't even know if he's is he even eligible to play?
I think he is, to be honest with you. And I smile when I say that because I think that Will Howard is definitely their future quarterback.
I think it's a potential to be. I
I
hate the
think
fact that
he's
he didn't get a snap really this year. Um, he didn't get to really. I mean, I'm sure they're seeing him in practice. They know what they got. They watching him in practice. Ruth is definitely on the hot seat, hence the performance pickup. He has been a go-to guy lately, man. Fryermuth, after having a couple games where he wasn't even playing, getting snaps, he's had 2 back-to-back pretty big games. Stu, that's a good point. TC, I don't think MVS is a solid number 2. I think early in his career he was thought to be a number 2. I think if he stays healthy, he's a good deep threat. I don't think the guy can stay healthy though. But I mean, it's not a bad pickup for how they got him.
no,
But I wouldn't consider him a solid number 2. I mean, he could be an upgrade for what we have, but I think what Philip and I are saying, we need you need an AJ Brown, a Jalen Waddle, or Jacoby Meyer. You need a guy that. But then again, like I said before, if you're not running routes, who cares who you got out there? Because you're not. I mean, what's Metcalf? We're not even trying to hit Metcalf more than like 6-7 yards down the field right now, so we don't have time to do that. And so
yeah, that's their typical routes with him. They went deep with him a couple times, especially against Cincinnati. But you can call it a drop, or you can call it a well defended pass play by their corner. That should have been a touchdown pass. I mean, the throw was there. But anyway, I guess we're gonna find out what time. I know the deadline's tomorrow. I just don't know what time the deadline is.
it's usually around 5 or 6. But I
Yeah.
mean, they there's going to be a lot of trades. I mean, like I said, Miami made another deal today. They traded Jalen Phillips, who's a good defensive player. He went to Philly. Philly seems to be making seems like Philly or Pittsburgh makes every trade right now.
You know what? Let's talk to the Eagles. Highsmith for Brown.
Yeah,
I've been saying this for a couple weeks.
I think it'd be a little bit more than that, though. Honestly, I think
they might have to give up a 3rd rounder. I don't know.
They just got Jalen Phillips now. I think if that was a potential, get a chance before that happened. But I would love. I mean, I'd love to move Highsmith. I think Highsmith is definitely the one guy that I could. He's the one guy that I could definitely see break. Being an easy. He's not gonna cost us anything. I think Rudolph is the guy, like you said. I think that could be a rough one, especially for a team that's in first place. We lose Rodgers. I mean, it's hard to see Rodgers playing every single game this year. I mean, the way he's taking some lumps. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And I agree. Gene said that maybe Will Howard needs one more year. That's quite possible, but he's got the makeup. He's got the tangibles. He's got the mindset. He's got the brain to be a great quarterback. It's just a matter of true ability.
Yeah, and that's the part you never know in the NFL, man.
Right. And if he's on the bench for a second year. And he really, has a true. I think he has got a great grasp right now of how NFL defenses, play, how they line up, how he can identify, if they're going to be playing a zone, if they're going to be playing man to man, if they're going to be coming on a blitz or whatever. I think he's got the intelligence to recognize that right away, But Rodgers has full power of calling audible. If you have the same personnel as coaches, by the time Howard comes in, I don't know that they're going to let him audible.
Nah, they're not going to let a rookie audible.
No, and that bothers me because I think every quarterback, if they know the playbook, if they can recognize defenses, they should have the opportunity to audible. My
TC,
opinion.
TC, I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna hold. If they have the right trade, I don't think they're gonna hold back draft picks just because the draft is here in Pittsburgh. Um, I agree with you. They might want to keep that first round pick just because it's a big, it's a huge deal. You
They
pick up
have
one of
to.
your
They didn't
home
have a
teams.
first round last year. They have to have a first round this year, no matter how they finish. The season.
Well, we had a first round last year.
I thought they didn't, but I could
We
be wrong.
traded Derek Harmon. We got Derek Harmon first round.
Was he first round? I thought he was second round for some reason, but I could be wrong. You do the draft stuff. I'm not going to question you.
Yeah, we got Derek Harmon in the first round last year.
Okay.
So we had a first. And then the year before, of course, we traded up to get Broderick Jones in the first round. So
Right.
but I agree with you, but I think that they're going all in. You can tell they're going all in for Rodgers. I think if they went out and got Duger right away, they're not messing around.
No.
If there's a guy out there, and I heard, don't know if the rumors are great, but I have a good rumor site that said that Brown is Patriots and Steelers, and the Patriots have a really nice team right now, man.
Yeah, they do.
People don't realize the Patriots are in first place, not the Bills. The Bills are a wild card team right now. If the season ended right now, the Steelers would play the Buffalo Bills, I believe. Or it'd be like something like that. Like they're the 5 seed or the 4 seed. Or they would play maybe I think that's the way it would work, or something like or close to that. But the Bills are a wild card team right now. So the Patriots are legit, man. And we beat the Patriots. We beat the Patriots, we beat the Colts. It's crazy.
Well, we beat the Patriots because we had all those turnovers too, remember?
Yeah, we beat the 7-2 Patriots and the 7-2 Colts. So I mean, the Steelers
Right.
is just a weird team, man. Then the Bengals lose to the Bears. The
In the
Packers
last-
lose to the Panthers. Like what the NFL was a mess, man. Like the Packers scored 35 against us and scored 13 against the Carolina Panthers. By the way, Tucker Kraft tore his ACL. He's out the year.
Yeah,
that was their big thing.
I really like him, and I do like that Packers team, to be honest.
It's amazing. How do you lose at home to Carolina after beating Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh? That's why I tell people, like, the NFL is the NFL. They're still NFL players, man. You could beat the Colts one week and lose to the Jets next week because they're still NFL players, man. It's just a crazy thing.
It's proven that almost, put it this way, with the Steelers opponents they have, I know they're going to have to play Baltimore twice. Lamar Jackson's back. He was on fire last Thursday. So they kind of scare me again.
Oh, the Baltimore Ravens are the best team in the AFC.
Yeah. But, the Steelers always seem to split against the Ravens each season, okay?
Their defense is a little rough this year, which is weird to say because usually it's like, hey, Baltimore, you think about their defense being their defense is always there. We always think of their offense being maybe like the thing that the Steelers, but I think their defense now is beatable. I think the Steelers could be in a shootout with them. I think the Steelers could actually do something now. I think the Steelers are finding a way to hold. Steelers are finding ways now to stop running games. That's Jonathan Taylor didn't do much. But Jacobs didn't do much the week before. Even though we gave up a lot of passing yards in both of them weeks, but
I didn't see the numbers yesterday for the Ravens, but Derrick Henry's having like an average season for the most part.
Yeah, but it's still
blowing it up like he did last year.
That's still Derrick Henry, though, man.
I know. I totally agree with you. But I was thinking about this today. Any team can be beaten.
You're seeing it. I mean, if you'd have told me after beating Pittsburgh that Green Bay was going to go home and score 13 points against the Carolina Panthers and lose on a field goal, I mean,
they lost to the Browns this year too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's a crazy year. Like what's it here right here? Stu says it's definitely any given Sunday, and you're right, man. Any game. There's no locks. There's no locks anymore, man. I think the Colts had the best record in the NFL going into that game, and we saw what happened. 6 turnovers. They haven't done that since 2007. They only had 3 turnovers coming into the game. Think about that. They doubled their turnovers in one game.
Right.
They went from 3 to 9 after playing Pittsburgh, which is just amazing. I mean, Danny Dimes wasn't throwing dimes, that's for sure. He was threw 3 interceptions. But hey, before we go, everybody, Philip, let everybody know about your travel. And I appreciate all the talk, guys. You guys have been phenomenal. I didn't even get to all the stuff. TC, I see you say your fantasy team, your whole fantasy team's hurt. He had Tucker Kraft. He said his whole team is hurt. But
can I tell TC something here? I in desperate need for a wide receiver in my league, and I'm gonna have to start looking at everybody's rosters for a potential trade. It's a neighborhood league that we have. I picked up Travis Hunter last Wednesday or Thursday. Then he gets hurt in practice. That's just been my luck this year with fantasy football.
I mean, hold on. Injuries. The injuries this year probably have been the worst. We have a fantasy football show on Wednesday nights, and all they talk about is the injuries every week. That's all the injuries are just amazing right now.
Did you see what happened to Jalen Daniels?
Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Did you actually see where his elbow went?
No, because
you don't want to see it. It's graphic. It's gruesome.
I did something like that to my arm playing baseball, and I won't. So my son told me, like, Dad, you want to see? I'm like, no, I'm not looking.
No, you don't want to look at it.
I know the feeling. I know what it feels like. I had my wrist pop through my hand, so.
Ugh. But I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan. I love him. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, and to see him go down the way he did, I feel so bad for him. Oh, terrible. But anyway, that's just, there's just been so many freak injuries, this year. I don't know how it compares to years past, seasons past, but I don't know, man. Anything can happen to anyone too.
Well, Philip, before we go, explain to everybody out there about the Clark Travel. What can you do for all of our fans out there?
Reach me at my Facebook page, Clark Travel. My email address is Philip, 1L and Philip, at clarktravel.org. I have 7 cruise lines that I am booking. My go-to is Expedia Tap. That's everybody knows Expedia. It's our travel advisor portal that we use, and I can find great deals on resorts, hotels, and I'm just ready and willing and able to get anyone where they want to go. I pay close attention to detail. I feel that my customer service skills are pretty high. I will ask any question that's needed to be asked at these resorts. And these cruise lines, I'll find the best deal possible. And I'm also going to be your advocate when you're traveling. So, I do my best to keep in touch with those who are, I've booked, like I said earlier in this podcast, I have a family that I know very well. They just left this afternoon on a Disney cruise, going down to the Caribbean. And, if I don't hear from them, I know they're doing well, but I did send them a text right before this podcast asking if everything, went off without any hitches. So, but I know they're already having a great time. So
everybody out there, please take care of Philip. Philip, one of my great advertisers. My co-host for the Steelers Rewind, and look for a big announcement coming up here soon from Sports Bible, because we're going to be announcing our NFL draft party. For the people that don't want to go down to the North Shore, we're going to have something set up back here in Pittsburgh for everybody to come out and party with us. We'll have like 5-6 guys up on a panel. We'll talk about each draft pick. It'll be a fun night. So
JT,
look for that.
You told me too that I can advertise my new podcast.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Phil's Place. And this podcast is going to be about sports, music, travel, and culture, and finding that meaning of place. And I did my first episode last night. It's recorded. I plan to post it this week. It's an introductory to the podcast. I did an awesome podcast this morning with 2 guys from Beaver County who are musicians in the Beaver Valley Musician Hall of Fame. That might not sound like much, but it's a big deal because the people who are in this Hall of Fame are people who've played for all these different bands that are famous. They've written songs, like, for example, Jimmy Ross from the Jaggers is in the Hall of Fame. The Jaggers had that #1 hit in 1970. The rapper Donnie Iris was in that band at the time. We have Henry Mancini is from Aliquippa, West Aliquippa. Obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame. The Granati brothers, G-Force, they're in that Hall of Fame. David Buffalini and Joe Monroe, who I had on today. Joe Monroe is in a band called Ghost Towns, and minority owner for the Steelers, Thomas Tull, I can never pronounce his last name correctly, Tull, is in that band as well. So we have some heavy hitters coming out of Beaver County, and that's what we showcased today. David Buffalini is organizing a concert called the Holly Jolly Christmas Concert. It'll be at Hopewell High School on December 6th. I promised him I would do every plug possible. So I thank you, John, for letting me talk about that. But that's going to be, what my podcast is about. It'll be on YouTube. It'll, be on Apple Music and Spotify for the audio part of it. And I'll be advertising it on all my Facebook accounts.
All right, guys. So watch all that. And by the way, it's JT. Don't call me John.
JT. I know. I went off. I went off a little bit by
people that call me John are either family members or 8th grade people I went to school with. So
JT. I like JT.
I'm like Prince, man. I got one name. I got no last
JT.
name. So
there you go. I like that.
But hey, guys, thank you so much for listening in. Remember, next week, every Monday, 8:00, except for the Monday night football games, of course. But I will be here every Monday night. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, everybody, for listening.